So now I will show you how to do a factory network unlock. In my opinion, this is the most valuable way to unlock your phone, and once you have an unlocked phone, you will be able to resell it at a higher price, and your phone will be compatible worldwide with all carriers. The first thing we have to do is to disable Find My iPhone, so simply go to Settings, scroll down where it says iCloud, and scroll all the way down where it says Find My iPhone. Make sure it is completely off, so you can turn it back on once your iPhone has been unlocked successfully. Alright, so then we have to get the IMEI number. Simply open your dial pad and type *#06#. So as you will see, your 15-digit IMEI number will appear. You can also find this number on the back part of the box of your phone or also in the SIM card tray. Alright, so this is by far the most important part of the whole unlocking process. Now keep this number somewhere close as we will need it in a few seconds to unlock this phone. Alright, so now we're gonna use the computer. iTunes saying congratulations, your iPhone has been unlocked. Boom, there you go guys, your phone is now fully factory unlocked and now it's compatible worldwide with all carriers. You should get a full signal on your new carrier. And that's it guys, that's how we unlock an iPhone 7. That's all for today guys. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll try to help you as soon as I can. By the way guys, we're also giving away a free iPhone 7, completely sealed, brand new phone. You can find the instructions on how to enter the giveaway in the next video. Thanks for watching guys, take care.
Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime versus iPhone 7 coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up guys, Nick here from Everything Tech, help you to master your technology, and welcome to the Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime versus the Apple iPhone 7. Now what I have here is a 16GB J7 Prime with expandable memory. Over here on the right I do have an iPhone 7 256GB. So let's go ahead and begin with the boot up test, and I want you guys to know that, I just made the SE versus the J7 Prime, as well as the iPhone 5S versus the J7 Prime. So if it's your first time here and you want to see those phones, those videos are now on the channel. But the reason I'm making so many contents on the J7 Prime is because, just like with every phone, I like to make a lot of videos, so for those of you who are researching to buy a product or a phone, you have a one-stop shop, and I do make playlists on all my phones. So if you guys are new to the channel, you're looking for a phone, go check out my playlist. I got playlists on tons of phones. So if we go like that, you can see that the iPhone 7 just rocketed to the home screen, beating the J7 hands down on the boot up test. So taking a closer look at the software on this device, you can see that on the J7 Prime, we are going to be running Android version 6.0.1 Marshmallow. So that is a very good operating system here. It's not the latest Android nougat, but it is running a pretty nice operating system nonetheless. Over here on the Apple iPhone 7, if I go into general software update, you can see iOS 10.2.1, the latest official. We're still waiting on 10.3 official. The beta is out, but I'm not putting the beta on the 7 here. So if I go into display, let me go into display. I want to make sure the display is not going to turn off on us during the middle of the video. I'm going to go ahead and clear the cache on both of these devices before we begin the speed test. So let me go ahead and hold down the Apple iPhone 7. And let's go into settings here for the J7 Prime. Let's go into storage. Let's go into the details of the storage. And just give that a second to load that wheel detail, and let's go to internal storage. Let's go to cache data, and let's clear these both at the same time. So let's just clear the J7 Prime and clear the iPhone 7. Alright, so you can see everything is closed out here on the iPhone 7 and everything is closed out there on the J7 Prime. So let's begin with Appy Geek on both devices in 3, 2, 1. And you can see that the iPhone 7 does beat the J7 Prime easily. Now we are talking about an A10 CPU here for the iPhone 7, and we're talking about an Exynos 787 there on the Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime. Well, you could say Samsung Exynos 7870. Coming home here, you could see the iPhone 7 very fast back to the home screen because of its capacitive key. It's finally catching up to Android in terms of going back to the home screen with its quick animations to the home screen. Going into the home screen, you could see the App Store beat the Play Store. What about YouTube here? So YouTube seems to have won there on the J7 Prime, but you know what? I didn't sign in quite yet there for the iPhone 7, so let's do that again. Let's do YouTube again on the iPhone 7. So you can see the iPhone 7 actually would have been faster there to the home screen. Let's go into Amazon on both devices, and you can see iPhone 7 wins that one, and now the J7 Prime, we're still waiting on it. So the iPhone 7 there. Let's go into eBay. And you can see the iPhone 7 well ahead here. So you can see that the iPhone 7, as you probably expected, is a lot quicker than your Samsung Galaxy J7. But if you have a J7 and you're thinking about upgrading, you are going to get a massive upgrade in terms of the speed department. Now, day to day, you're not really going to notice this unless you're comparing them side by side. But the iPhone 7 does feel just a little bit more smooth, a little bit buttery smooth than the J7. Let's go into camera. And the J7 and the iPhone 7 about even there. Now, in terms of the cameras themselves, the J7 has a 13 megapixel, the iPhone 7 has a 12 megapixel, and the megapixel count doesn't mean it's a better camera on the J7, but I did find the J7 to be quite competitive for being such a low-priced phone, so very solid stuff there on the J7. The Apple iPhone 7's camera definitely edges it though. Let's go into Best Buy. And you can see that we did get notifications there, annoying ads, but the iPhone 7 won that one as well. So let's go into Place Newsstand. And you can see location coming on here. I cannot stand these notifications. Okay, let's go and do this again. Let's go ahead and do Play Newsstand again. And let's go into Play Newsstand. And you can see that the J7 won that one. So we're going to give one to the J7. What about Google Search? So I'm going to give that one to the iPhone 7. Let's go to Wikipedia. And I'm going to give that one to the iPhone 7. Coming home. Let's go into Subway Surfer. So this is where the iPhone 7 should just annihilate the J7 in terms of the gaming department. This is an amazing gamer right here for the iPhone 7. And you can see the iPhone 7 just rockets through this game. The iPhone 7 will chew through any game. Any game on the iOS App Store should work pretty flawlessly there for your Apple iPhone 7. Whereas we're still waiting there on the J7 Prime. So this is where you take a hit in terms of the price point, usually is in the gaming department. This is why OnePlus's phones sell so well, because the OnePlus series of phones do really good in terms of gaming for a budget price point. Let's go into Temple Run. And you can see that Temple Run just flies open on the 7, just waiting on the J7. Over here we do have Snapseed. And you can see that was about even. So some of the basic apps are about even. Going into Uber here. Missed that tap on the Apple iPhone 7. Let's go into Uber here. And you can see Uber wins there on the J7 Prime. Shocking stuff. So going into settings, you can see the Apple iPhone 7. So now let's just quickly run through them again. Appy Geek, iPhone 7, Instagram. So if you watched my previous J7 videos, you would have noticed that the J7 has some problems multitasking, and it's showing again here. Let's go into YouTube. You see the reload right there? That's the problem with the J7 that I do not like. If you do like multitasking a lot, the iPhone 7 is going to give you a much better experience here. So let's come home. Let's get out of there. Let's go into Strava on both devices. And you can see the iPhone 7 just waiting on the J7. Again, on the camera, a win for the iPhone 7. Best Buy, you can see Apple iPhone 7, there's a win there. Let's go into the Play Newsstand again. So this is pretty much what I expected here. The Apple iPhone 7 to run through this test with ease while we're just waiting on the J7 Prime. And both caches were cleared and both phones were rebooted, so it's a pretty fair test in terms of their speed. Even with the miss there on the iPhone 7, it was still quicker than the J7. Snapseed, you can see the iPhone 7 coming home. Let's go into Uber. And coming home, let's go into settings. And about the same there. So that's pretty much it in terms of the speed test. The speed test is conclusive in itself. You can see that the Apple iPhone 7 is going to give you much better performance, but the J7 just represents a pretty incredible value for its price point. I mean, guys, if you're looking for a phone that's around 250 bucks, the J7 Prime is not going to disappoint you. You're getting a 13 megapixel camera, you're getting a fingerprint sensor, whereas this is a 256 gigabyte iPhone. This baby right here is close to $1,000. This baby right here is about 250 bucks. And I mean, if you look at them, they do have a lot of similarities. I mean, metal body here on the J7 Prime, a metal body here for the iPhone 7. And no, I'm not sitting up here saying that the J7 Prime is a better phone. We know this is not true, but it does have some aspects that you're not going to get on the iPhone 7, such as a 5.5-inch display, such as expandable memory, such as a front-facing flash. Yeah, you can argue you get Retina flash built into the software, but when you take a picture on the J7 using its front-facing flash, you actually get a physical flash which actually produces more light on your face than just a software flash. You can see right there. And when you do take the picture, it lights up just like Retina flash. So I'm going to give that edge to the Samsung Galaxy J7. Now, what else do you get on the J7 you don't get on the iPhone 7? You get a better front-facing camera in my experience. The 8 megapixel on that J7, surprisingly sharp. This camera on the front of the J7 was a shocker. It's like really good. The one on the iPhone 7 also really good at 5 megapixels, but I don't think it's better than the one on the J7. But the iPhone 7 gives you a lot of features over the J7 you don't get, such as slow motion recording, 4K video recording. You also get, a faster Touch ID scanner. You get guaranteed updates to iOS. You get bigger storage if you're willing to pay the premium, up to 256 gigs. But you got to remember, you can expand the J7 up to 256 gigs, but we're talking about internal storage. You can get more internal storage here for the iPhone 7. You get probably a slightly better build quality. They're actually they're closer than you think. The J7 does utilize a cheaper metal, but overall, they feel about the same except for these plastic inserts up here. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap this comparison of the J7 Prime versus the iPhone 7. If you're watching this video, you got a J7, you're thinking about upgrading to an iPhone 7, I would say skip this one out and go straight to the iPhone 7 Plus, because I think that would be a better upgrade from your J7 than this one. I mean, you get a 1080p screen here, you don't get a 1080p screen here. You get better battery life here on the J7 than the iPhone 7, but the iPhone 7 Plus probably will give you better battery life than the J7. Also, you get a 13 megapixel camera like we talked about, but you get the dual camera setup, so you're kind of going from a single camera to a single camera. So I think the better upgrade would be if you go from the J7 to the 7 Plus if you're thinking about upgrading. If you were actually thinking about buying one of these phones, I can tell you right now, both of them will please you. The iPhone 7 is the better choice for the long term. The J7 is the better choice for if you're on a budget and you want a really nice phone for not too long, you're not planning on keeping it forever. This one represents a great value. So that's pretty much my assessment of the Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime versus the iPhone 7. But what is yours? I'd like to hear that down below in the comments section. Let's chat about that as we did in our previous videos. And thank you all for watching. This was Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.